Tonight we're talking about freemasonic chess, black and white chessboard antics. We got a lot of people in the music industry claiming to be black when they're really not black. And what is black is becoming a conversation that's like up for debate, because I'm gonna really break it down how blackness in the music industry is in the music industry, and then like pop culture, mainstream media, period, is being chalked up to, well, I don't pass for white, I don't want to be I can't pass for white. Oh yeah, I want to be black adjacent. I want to be accepted by the black community. I want to be black. I want some of the perks that come along with being black, like wanting to be able to really say the N-word, twerk, wear braids, date black dudes, make rap music. I want to reside in black spaces and do things that, talking Ebonics or talking African American vernacular, and just like do low vibrational shit. Like, I want to do things that are associated with blackness from, again, the mainstream or like the worldly perspective, because being black is a lot more than saying the N-word, wearing braids, shaking your ass, again, rapping. What's up? Welcome in. We talking about how there's a lot of mixed people in the industry who are not black, but they claiming to be black, and like, or they're mixed people passing for black. Black and white chessboard, freemasonic chess antics, industry antics, Illuminati antics. I mentioned this situation mainly when I was talking about Ice Spice and Tyla. I had mentioned this too in my video about Saweetie and Sky Jackson. Now, we know Sky Jackson's actually black. This don't pertain to her. But when it comes to like Saweetie is mixed. She has a black dad. But I definitely feel like Saweetie be trying too hard to like fit in with what they want us to believe is black culture. Because again, like, unfortunately, black culture isn't chalked up to black excellence. Like, all the things that make somebody excellent, like, again, going to school, finishing school, going to get a great career, and we have our own like food and stuff like that, but these days even that is changing. And when we see like all these influencers online, it's like black food is being chalked up to Henny wings, salmon bites, like bullshit. And some of that is our own doing. But I just feel like there's definitely an agenda to, like, oh yeah, fighting on TV. When you see shows like Baddies, Real Housewives, like the black franchises, like Potomac and Atlanta, always got people scrapping. I mean, before Baddies, Bad Girls Club, what's up, y'all? Welcome in. But shows like Bad Girls Club, Flavor of Love, like, anytime you have a bunch of black people together, especially if it's going to be on TV, like, they got to have us doing really low vibrational shit, like scrapping it out, arguing, fussing, fighting. Like, that's what they want to sell as black culture. And so black people are under a spell by boule people. I hinted at this briefly last night. What's up, Truth Hurts? Good to see you back. Talking about mixed people replacing black people, but I want to starting off with a conversation about like what is black culture, because that is something that the black community is losing their grip on, and we really don't have no control over it, because they got these boule people in place who help to put on a lot of these characters who parade around as if they're black people or who are black people, but they push a negative agenda about black people. Like I was saying, like again, black culture nowadays is hitty wings, fighting, saying the N-word, wearing braids, twerking, rap music, you know, like black culture is being racked up to bullshit. And I mentioned this conversation about what is black culture because when you have people like Ice Spice, people like Lotto, people like Saweetie. What's up? Hey, Wade from Romania. What's up, Addie? I remember you the other night. I feel like I really have seen your screen name before. Good to see you again. But I mentioned I really want to start off with that conversation about what's black culture because, like I was saying with those artists I just named, again, Ice Spice, Saweetie, shit, even Tyler. You know, I know that conversation, that video about Tyler that I made about that VMA shit got people mad. People really, like the South Africans really in my comments going in, but it's like, nah, like it's a legit conversation. It's a legit conversation. Like black African Americans do have a reason to be, thank you. Black people have a reason to be like pretty pissed, right? They are upset. And I was saying in that video, look, Tyler, you don't want to claim to be black. They're upset. They could be mad. But I was saying, like, you want to be black. You don't want to claim that you black. You mix with black, and being mixed with black does not mean that you black. But you want to, like, do all of the shit that's black adjacent. You know what I'm saying? You want to be black adjacent. You want to make Afro beats, which is not even native to your country. Because Tim's, an actual Afro beats artist, cleared that up and let us know that Afro beats is really from Nigeria. So you want to dig into Nigerian culture and make Afro beats. And then you want to also make, you know, stuff that, you know, like hip hop beats that would like lean over into urban music. And you want to be able to pop your butt, wear cornrows, you know, dance and shuck and jive alongside other black artists, because Taylor Swift is not shucking and jiving alongside of you. And neither is Miley Cyrus. And we saw how Miley Cyrus, I'm gonna get on that, how she, you know, dibbled and dabbled into black culture and then just like, nah, I'm good. I gotta put my mic up here. You know, you want to do all of these things that, you know, lie in the realm of blackness, but you don't want to claim to be black. And when you mix with black and you as dark as you are, like that pisses people off. And I was also saying in previous videos about Tyler, again, this is America and the whole world revolves around black and white freemasonic chess. In South Africa, they're kind of like a special case because they have like, they've had apartheid and they have like this colored class, kind of like how America used to before we were America, back when New Orleans was like the only, like when Louisiana was like one of the only states here. What did they have? They had like free people of color, then they had slaves, then they had like white folks. So see how they kind of had like three classes? Well, now majority of the world still runs on black and white chessboard. So, especially America. Let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about how deep black and white chessboard goes when it comes to like mental programming. Because I noticed the other day, I was like, I had went to go to Jenny's Ice Cream, and I was sitting outside, right? Different like racial classes or like racial caste systems. So I was sitting outside, like just having some ice cream. I was at a mall, and I saw like this Asian guy walking with like a group of like white guys. Like you know, they was clearly all friends, all going somewhere. And I was like, okay, like, I bet you he think he just as white as them. Like, something about his energy just gave me that vibe. And I've seen this happen. We, as black people, like, we really got to talk about it when it comes to the mental programming, the psychological programming of black and white chess. Because how many times do we see Latino people, Asian people, Indian people, like people of other racial backgrounds? Sometimes they will try to either be like white identified or black identified. When they don't want to like lean into like their own culture, they go to either black or white, which is like the popular culture, right? Because again, it's freemasonic chess. So yes, there are plenty of like Asian people, Indian people, you know, who like are cool with like resting. You know, I see this with Middle Eastern men too. Some of them are kind of like black male identified, or like black identified, because even the women too, you know, we see with the Kardashians. But some of them do like stick to their culture, and you know, like they reside in their home culture and they don't try to like be anything else. But sometimes when they want to fit in, when they decide they want to fit into, again, mainstream popular culture, or they want to like Americanize themselves, when they want to like fit in with American culture, should I say, they feel the need to pick a side. And when we have people like, now Indian people, we talked about this too on another video, how like Indian people, as dark as they are, they don't like black people. They try to like buddy up to white folks. But I've seen this with like Latino people, Middle Eastern people, and like sometimes like Asian people, like they will try to like identify more with like black culture. And then again, we see it sometimes with like, you know, those same people again, like trying to buddy up with like white culture, white people. So they sometimes, again, when they feel like they want to fit in, they feel like they have to pick, am I going to like reside with the black folks or reside with the white folks? And some of them again feel like, well, the whites are never going to accept me, so because I'm not white, I can't pass for white, I'm too dark, you know, to pass for white. Or again, just phenotypically, you know, aesthetically, I can't pass for white. So they just want to like reside in the black culture space. And then some of them, again, if they don't really like what black culture stands for, I have my eyelash tripping, if they don't really like, what's up, Dion? Yes, Dion, for sure. You do have to get in where you fit in. Yes, in Western society, absolutely. Okay, hold on. I have a lash that's like really flipping out on me right now. But when they want to like be identified or like associated with like wealth, when they want to be associated with high vibrational shit, and again, like basically when they don't want to be associated with niggatry, that's when they'll try to like, you know, change their voice to get rid of their accent, you know, and they'll like try to, again, buddy up and like assimilate to whiteness, get some kind of proximity to whiteness through what? Dating white people. We see this with a lot of Indian men. I noticed they be thirsty for white women. And again, even with Asian women, like a lot of them are very get the bag mentality, and they're like thirsty to get with a white dude, or like they really want to get with a white guy because they want to like assimilate to whiteness. And whiteness is associated with wealth, status, you know, again, higher up on the totem pole, acceptance, of socioeconomic status. Whiteness is associated with, again, marriage, home ownership, family, like, so again, a big contrast to what black culture is associated with. Black culture is associated with baby mamas, baby daddies, tats, smoking weed, twerking, clubbing, never settling down, you know, being a child forever, you know, being oppressed. Because that's what I was saying the other night, and somebody got mad. A couple people got upset when I was saying, again, like, black people don't like to take accountability, and that's because there's boule people in place to always make you feel like you're oppressed. When yes, there is still racism, bias, prejudiceness, like that shit is still real. Like as black people, we can't act like it's not real. I'm never gonna, invalidate this your experience when I experience the same experience every day, especially where I live. Like I do not live in a predominantly black city. I live in a city where it's a lot of white people. Like it's rare to meet other black people where I live. Like I constantly am the only black person at work. I constantly am the only black. What's up, Combat Donkey? I'm constantly the only black person at work. I'm constantly the only like black person in class. Like I'm constantly like just one of the few black. Like I don't see a lot of black people here, and the black folks that I see where I live, a lot of them are homeless. So I live in a white liberal city. So I'm not gonna and white people in a very liberal city are even more racist. They are, because they're like passive, and Malcolm X talks about this. They're like passive aggressive racist, where like, yeah, Black Lives Matter until it's time to hire your black ass. So I'm not gonna invalidate. I'm not here to gaslight my own people and invalidate their experience. But what I am gonna also say is that in that same breath, black people do have an issue with accountability, and that lack of accountability and being a perpetual victim is a main factor in why our community cannot progress, because we refuse everything. We chalk off when we can't blame the white man, we blame each other. Dead ass. We blame the men, blame the women blame the men. Like they blame their family, their parents. Like, black people have a way of shifting blame instead of like fixing our problems. Like I just uploaded a short about the turkey leg hut. The turkey leg hut can't say that they were oppressed. The owners, they can't say, oh, we were oppressed, that's why our restaurant shut down and black people didn't support our business. A fucking lie. Y'all just had a lot of fucking internal issues that led to y'all demise. And it's shit like that we see on an everyday basis with black businesses closing, especially restaurants. I don't know what it is with us in restaurants closing, because we have an issue with accountability and showing up when we need to be present to our own fucking business. And again, it's a lot of boule people bringing that back. A lot of boule people, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, they want to sell you the idea when Beyonce's talking about some freedom and America has a problem. Yeah, motherfuckers like you. People like, Kamala. People, again, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Like, people who not really for their people. People who selling their people out for a check. The dancing and shucking and jiving Negroes down to the congressional, the congressional caucus, the NAACP niggas, the HBCU niggas, the Divine Nine niggas. Like, yeah, it's them type of black people, the boule, people who sell their own people out for a bag, because again, even they want proximity to whiteness. And again, whiteness is seen as status, class, and money. This is a fact. So it's not even up for debate, because you can really do your research on this stuff. But let's talk about selling people out, right? Lotto, Tyler, Ice Spice, on top of their success are Jewish men, and right underneath is black men, because black men are who, the Jewish men give the funding and the black men give them the ideas on what they should do to cozy up and appeal to black people. These black A&Rs, these stylists, these agents, these managers, like these dudes who work in the industry, they're the ones who sell out their own culture. Like, who the fuck you think was helping Miley Cyrus like get ideas, like Mike Will and Juicy J? When Miley Cyrus decided that she wanted to parlay in the black pond and do what? Appeal to blackness via shaking her ass, wearing Jordans, being in basketball themed music videos, when she was down in New Orleans talking about some, yeah, people taught me how to twerk and all this shit. When Miley Cyrus wanted to be pseudo black, the first place she ran was to the arms of a black man. And again, I'm not blaming all black men for this, but I'm saying the industry black dudes, many of them are sellouts, and they were the ones giving her all the ideas on how she could cozy up better to black culture and how she could better wear black culture as a costume. Same thing with Cardi B. Again, same thing with Ice Spice, same thing with Tyler, you know, same thing with Lotto. We see how Mariah the Scientist is running around, and Mariah the Scientist claims to have 2 black parents, if those are really her parents. But Mariah the Scientist, you know, there's a reason why she over there hanging out with Young Thug. She's trying to get on. She's trying to get on. And unfortunately in the industry, because again, the industry in Hollywood helps to perpetuate stereotypes, they want you to believe that part of being a black woman is going to get with an ain't shit ass nigga who in and out of jail, multiple BMs, hold him down while he's in jail, and again, twerk, smoke weed, eat Henny wings, be down to the club, puff hookah, fight it out with other bitches over this bum ass nigga. Like, yeah, that's a black woman. A black woman is to be a black woman is to struggle, twerk, and be a baby mama. That peep that. That's what they want you to believe is blackness and what makes a black woman. And this is why they constantly, I'm just making sure, I'm like, is somebody at the door? But this is why they sell that story so hard. And I was saying, I tied that in with Saweetie, right? In the video with her and Sky Jackson, because Saweetie supposedly had like some big blowout argument with YG. I told y'all in the video, I don't believe that. I don't believe Saweetie and YG are a real couple. I never believed that. I believe, even her and Quavo, I don't believe that they're a real couple. Like, if you see the kind of dudes Saweetie was dating before she got famous, and now the kind of guys she's dating, night and day difference. Because again, Saweetie was born into the industry. Saweetie was born into money. So, yes, they're all fake. Because they make these couples to push the agenda. But Saweetie was born into money and was born into the industry. So her dating Justin Combs makes sense. They're 2 trust fund babies who were born into the industry. Her dating, what's that dude, Keith Powers or whatever, the dude who's now dating Ryan Destiny, that makes sense because he was, you know, an up-and-coming actor. And there was like this other guy she was dating. So I forget his name, but like her dating those type of dudes makes sense because like Saweetie is a USC graduate. USC is a private school. Like Justin Combs went to UCLA. She went to USC. Those are rival schools in California. 2 big, prominent, you know, top-rated schools. Universities. UCLA is a public school, USC is the private school. That makes sense for her to date him. But her and Quavo and her and YG is like, what is this? But the industry did that because, okay, you want to be a rapper. And also, let's talk about this. You know, notice how they have everybody rapping. Coi Leray, Doja Cat, Ice Spice, Saweetie, Lotto. Like, why do they all have to rap? Why do they all have to rap? Like, I was talking about this in a community post. Like, everybody shouldn't be singing. Everybody shouldn't be in the music industry. Everybody shouldn't be famous. Everybody shouldn't be rapping. But I've noticed the industry has a way of, when people, again, when the girls, and even the guys, because I made a video about YNW Melly. YNW Melly shouldn't be rapping. He should be like singing. That boy can really actually sing, but the industry pigeonholes black artists, which is why Beyonce felt the need to, again, her boule ass, to psyop you and gaslight you and be like, oh, I'm opening doors for black artists. They got black country artists who are celebrated. No, they do not typically get the fame of, again, white artists, as a Carrie Underwood. Again, Taylor Swift used to be more country, but they definitely are. There definitely are black successful and celebrated and awarded country artists. But Beyonce, again, part of her being boule is using the shtick that she's so oppressed, and that her and Jay-Z are still fighting the good fight for black people and black music and black artistry, when they are not fucking oppressed. Y'all are billionaires who have accumulated more wealth than, 99% of your community. Beyonce is one of the most awarded people of all time. Like, they want to, again, sell you this narrative that, oh, we so oppressed. Yeah, from your fucking, multi-million-dollar mansion and your private jet. Like, you can't relate to your own people, but you need to appeal to your own people by selling them struggle. Yes. By selling them the idea of oppression and struggle. And again, it's putting them, which, again, like I was saying, which keeps your people in the mindset of being a perpetual victim. Because, oh, if even Beyonce and Jay-Z are oppressed and still fighting the white man, and, we all, no. Black people have more opportunity and more resources than we've ever had before. We can vote. We have so many rights. We have basic civil rights and more. No, we do not have a fucking Asian hate bill. No, we don't have a black hate bill. But if you do something against a black person, you can really get in trouble for a fucking hate crime. So we're not gonna act like black people are just still as oppressed as they were in like the early 1900s, 1800s. None of that. Like, we still have issues, but again, here's the gag. Everybody's racist. Everybody's racist. Everybody is judging somebody based off the color of their skin in one way or another. That's just human nature. Humans are tribal people. Asian people are constantly discriminated against. Indians are discriminated against. Again, even white people go through it by other races who feel like, oh, the white, you white, they feel like all white people are oppressors. All white people are, people who go around raping and pillaging minorities. Like, but that's not the case. So, right, racism is like being hungry. Yeah, you may not be right now. Like, it just is what it is. So racism is still going around with just people in general and period. But there is again a movement, just like what Kamala Harris talking about, some freedom and free. Like, bitch, we free. What are you talking about? Black people are free to vote, to smoke, to joke and choke. Like, we're fucking free. So what freedom are we fighting for? See, psyoping you into being a perpetual victim that's fighting for what? Nothing. Fighting for rights you already have. Like, just peep that. So the industry pigeonholes artists. That's what I was really going to. The industry pigeonholes, if they can't pass for white, they pigeonhole them. And when you have people, let's talk about Lotto, special case. Lotto was white passing. If we didn't know her dad was black, she could pass for white. She's a natural blonde, and she could pass for a white woman. But Lotto wants to rest in her black side. She wants to, try to be more black than what she is, or act black, and like when people say, what is acting black, and what does that mean? Sounding white and talking black, because again, psyops. Black and white, freemasonic chessboard psyops. Into believing that, again, black people talk In Ebonics and African American vernacular, white people talk proper. Black people rap, white people sing. White people line dance, black people twerk. White people drink beer, black people drink Hennessy. So just peep that. Peep that. And so Lotto wanting to cozy up to blackness is that's why they have her in some fugazi relationship with 21 Savage. You know, again, somebody who has dreads, tatted up, somebody who, again, a rapper, dark-skinned black rapper who presents himself as hood and from Atlanta and all this other shit. Like, these glasses are kind of annoying tonight, but they have to put her in that kind of relationship to help validate her blackness. Again, same thing with Saweetie. Saweetie, most people don't know that Saweetie's half Asian. Saweetie is half Asian. Asian people have their own culture. They have a thriving, healthy, well and alive culture. Saweetie could easily be making music and like doing, more things to appeal to her Asian side. Yes, she embraces her Asian side, but all of the gum popping, long nails, twerking, big earrings, laying up with YG and Quavo, making rap music, like all of the stuff that she's doing leans into her being more black. Again, talking in Ebonics and all of that when this girl has a whole 4-year degree, because they gotta be like, okay, so you mixed, we gotta really make sure that people know that you black. Same thing with Ice Spice. Ice Spice is Latina. Cardi B is Latina. She's a black Latina, but don't want to claim that she's black, or didn't want to claim that she was black when she first started off. She easily, now I don't think Cardi B has enough brain cells to realize she's an Afro-Latina, but part of that too is, again, in her community, being black is not a good thing. Latinos don't want to be associated with blackness and being black, so of course she's gonna always say, I'm Latina, I'm Dominican, and she has a right to say that. Okay, I'm not here to fight her on it. But what do? Put her with Offset to validate her blackness. What does she do? She's saying the N-word, she's making rap music, and she's made some reggaeton, but Cardi B can't speak Spanish that well. People who actually speak Spanish always say Cardi B really can't speak Spanish, and that's part of why she has to come over to our community and try to cozy up and like get some kind of street cred, under the guise of, oh, I'm black or I'm black adjacent, because she can't really thrive in her own community. So she's rapping, tatted up, long nails, big earrings, used to be a stripper, like she fits the perfect mold. They want to associate black women with, again, we've been over-sexualized since the beginning of time. And they're consistently pushing that. Again, black women are hypersexual, promiscuous, loud, violent. Cardi B, again, fighting out in the club, because she's raised under the psyop that this is blackness. Blackness is fighting over, again, baby daddy, dude who cheating on you, stripping, smoking weed, long nails, cursing, saying the N-word, twerking everywhere, rap music, eating fried this and that, like Henny, Henny, hookah, and bullshit. Henny, hookah, and bullshit. And again, what's rubbing black people the wrong way with Tyla is, again, you want to reside in our spaces, but you don't want to claim that you black, and you have a way of acting around black people where you seem uncomfortable. So it's like, so why the fuck are you trying to make music to appeal to us? Like, pick a side, ho. Period. Same thing with Ice Spice. Again, Ice Spice is Dominican. All of that bullshit about her being Nigerian is fake news. Ice Spice is a Latina. I've never heard her speak Spanish. I mentioned this in the Tyler video too. Right. But truth hurts. That helps. You know what all of that is really for? For non-black people. When they push people, again, in the media who fit stereotypes on the internet, it does what it's supposed to do. Black people, people who are actually black and who actually hang around other black people, and people who actually hang around other black people are actually black, actually have black friends, black family. We know that black people, all of us, don't act like that. This is why some black people have the adage, there's a difference between niggas and black people, because there are plenty of times a bunch of black folks will be out at a restaurant, and you know, you got some of the black people cutting the food, and then some of them are looking like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Because like, niggatry is a mindset. It's a mindset, truly. Because again, in our community, blackness is not associated with marriage, home ownership, education, wealth, you know, values, couth. Yes, niggatry. Niggalations, nigga antics, nigga mindset, nigga mentality, like fuckery and foolery. Things that ain't got nothing to do with being great. Niggatry is, again, free Quan, free thug. That's niggatry. And again, you know, when people will be like, no, don't free them, you know, oh, you a hater, or you know, and it's, oh, what do? You riding with the white man? No, we're not riding with the white man. We just don't think it's okay for anybody, whether they're black or not, to go into a store and rob somebody's grandma and get free. But you think, you know, the nigga mentality is, oh, if you don't believe in free Quan, free thug, free, you know, free baby and day, you anti-black. Just like the same bullshit I was trying to tell you guys before with that bullshit with Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, if we know that the bitch is lying about getting shot, oh, we not protecting black women. No, we're not protecting liars. But that's a freemasonic play that's going on there, where they're trying to wrap Megan's lie into, if you ride with black women, like, but that's boule antics. That's boule antics. So, like, I mean, just come on, start peeping these plays. But artists are pigeonholed. Ice Spice is not black. She's Latina, but that's why they put her in an Afro wig, because they're like, we got to do something to, you know, again, make her appeal to black people. So they put her in an Afro wig when she first came out to try to convince people that, oh yeah, that's her hair, when that's not her fucking hair. And what do they make her do? Say the N-word, twerk, wear skimpy clothes, you know, again, shake ass at every turn, like, she just always bouncing around. And it's because that they trying to pass that off as, this is what blackness is. This is blackness. And what do you see? Like, wigs too. Wigs and long nails and stuff are becoming associated with blackness, because we see Travis Barker's daughter running around with wigs. I mean, this is a whole white woman. Not that white women don't wear weave and wear wigs, because white women wear a lot of weave. They wear a lot of weave. Like, they have extensions all in they shit. But with her wearing the full-on wigs and getting her baby hairs laid like black girls do, and you see a lot of women running around with these crazy lashes because they want to appeal to black men. They want to do what they see black women doing, because again, we set the tone, we set the, you know what I'm saying, we set the pace, we set the aesthetic. So if, yes, they be having all in the crown, just we be wonders. But when we do it, oh, we bald headed. But white women are known for having thin fucking Spanish moss as hair. And I'm not trying to drag white girls. I'm just saying, like, they are given grace when they wear, that's why they call it, oh, extensions. And for us, it's weave, tracks, when they're installed the same fucking way. So, come on. And again, Travis Barker's daughter, white woman, don't need to be wearing, don't need to be wearing wigs. And again, just because she's white doesn't mean that she shouldn't wear a wig, but the way she's doing her wigs is to emulate that of black women. She wants to put on that, she wants to, again, a lot of times blackness is seen as a fucking costume, because black women, oh, thank you, Dion. Y'all know I be on here. I don't feel like doing my hair today, but y'all know, yes, I have like an actual afro. I have actual curly hair still, but like, when it comes to, again, aesthetics and beauty and stuff, people like to wear blackness like a costume. And it's even done with white people too, because again, when non-white men want to associate with being white, we see them wear polos, khaki shorts, boat shoes, they want to, again, talk a certain way. Like, it goes the same way. That just goes to show you, though, that black and white chessboard is real. The psychological programming of black and white chess is real. People wear blackness and whiteness like uniforms, or like costumes. Even with black women, when black women wanna, try to cozy up more to whiteness, they go get a blonde wig or dye their hair blonde. Beyonce is one of the #1 offenders of this. And now she's bleaching her skin. Again, Beehive, they're never going to want to admit it. They're going to say, oh, she just Creole. She light skinned and it's cold. Yes, Combat Donkey, it is a program, because again, it's a game going on, the black and white chess, and in black and white chess, they're opposition. So it is a game to, again, keep blacks against whites, to keep white people thinking that black people are one way, and to keep black people thinking that white people are one way. When, yes, all stereotypes come from patterns. People can notice patterns in a particular group of people, period. You can notice patterns and start to stereotype private school kids. You can start to notice patterns and stereotype nurses. But, most stereotypes, again, reside on, as it comes to racial politics, and there's always going to be programming put in place to push those racial agendas. So that way people continue to think black people are like this and white people are like this. This is why I was saying to Truth Hurts, when we see, all these artists who are mainstream, doing what they do, pushing the program, perpetuating stereotypes, it's not for black people who actually know black people and who are actually black. Because again, as black people, as undisputable black people, we know how black people really are, and most of us are not wild like that. We all know that we know a few wild people like that, but most black people are not, popping ass every which way and like doing all of that weird shit. So those stereotypes and those artists are used as puppets for other races, so that way that's all that they see. Because if you're not around that many black people, and the closest that you get, let's talk about it. When I was saying, living where I live in a liberal city that has a lot of white people. So if I'm one of the only black people at this job, then all of the other white people here are at that job, I'm the closest black person that they, have proximity to. So of course they see me as like an anomaly, like, oh, well, she's different, she's different. But all they see when they go on social media, all they see when they turn on the TV, all they see in mainstream news, you should get turned off. A lot of men get turned off by all of that hypersexual shit, because it's just ratchet and like low vibrational. But, Of course, if that's all you see when you open your apps, and when you turn on the television, and when you read the news or whatever, like whenever you engage with media, if all you see are people who are the exact opposite of me, then of course you start to think that, well, this is just how Black people are. Especially if you live in a different country. Right. Yes, truth hurts. Imagine living in Tokyo, where it's a very homogenous culture. Like almost everyone is Japanese. You know, like when they have any kind of media interaction with Black people, I'm sure they see Krishan Rock, Natalie Nunn. You know, the classiest that they see is Nicki and Beyonce, and they both have fake asses and make, for the most part, low vibrational music. You know, and the thing is, I know, Beyonce's music is up for debate. A lot of it comes off is decent because she's singing, but if you listen to the lyrics, a lot of that shit is low vibrational. A lot of her lyrics, again, are not that great. And again, if she keeps singing about oppression and freedom and acting like all of this shit is going on, then again, you thinking that, oh yeah, America is still so racist and America is just still hates Black people. Like, see what I'm saying? And again, Nicki Minaj makes great music. I like her, but we're not gonna act like a lot of her music doesn't involve explicit lyrics, ops, and talking down on other Black women, her peers in female rap. She may be good with her wordplay, she may be good with her flow, but the music is low vibrational and violent in nature, sexual in nature. So when people from India and people from Japan and people from the Middle East and people from, Europe, when they hear this shit, they may bob along to it too because it's a good beat. But underneath it all, they could also be getting the messages that, again, Black women are catty, violent, competitive, sexual. See what I'm saying? Two things can be true. So a lot of people, again, their closest proximity to Black people and Blackness is what they see in mainstream media. And that's why mainstream media has an agenda. Like, let's talk about it. Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Jasmine Brand, like all of these popular media takeout, gossip, like all of these like popular Black news, black media outlets, like they push an agenda too, especially Shade Room, because they're always pushing fuckery, they're always pushing bullshit. And Shade Room, they love to, and not just Shade Room, but like all of them, especially the ones on IG, because that's where I get like my Black news nowadays, is Instagram. They love to post about Krishan and Blueface, baddies, Krishan and Blueface. They're paid to post that shit. And there's a reason why we see so much news about it, because it continues. Like I've been told you guys, I think Krishan represents the Blue Lodge, and Krishan and Blueface, by his Blueface, represents the Blue Lodge, and Sexy Red represents the Red Lodge and Freemasonry. I have a whole video about it, really breaking it down. And I almost forgot about Sexy Red. Again, Sexy Red is associated with all things low vibrational, pushing Black women as project chicks, hood, gutter butt, filthy, dirty, nasty whores. But that's because her and Sukianna, because they're hired by the government. I've been telling y'all, I think Sexy Red worked for the CIA, because you can clearly see it. And Black people, because it's so obvious, Black people know it. The average Black person will tell you, yeah, she a plant. Black people know she's a plant. But people from Europe, people from India, people from the Middle East, people from Guatemala, they don't know she's a fucking plant. They don't know anything about America until they get here. Okay? And then they have to relearn, the truth. Which is why there can be so much tension between Black people and immigrants, because when immigrants and even like again Black people from Africa, that's why we have diaspora wars, because it's set in place by the powers that be. Because when those people come here, all they know of us is what they've seen on TV. And so they come here and they kind of look down on us and turn their nose up, and we're like, what the fuck are you doing that for? And we don't understand it because we feel like you ain't never met me, you never met a Black person in your life. You just got here. Why are you, trying to turn your nose down on me? What? Because I'm Black? And it's like, again, it's going to be pushed as, oh, it's just a racial thing, when on the front end it is racial, but it's really behavioral. They think that people like us, people like African Americans, behave like Sexy Red, behave like Diddy, sexual deviants like Diddy, behave, like Chief Keef, NBA Youngboy, Future. Like, that's why celebrities are puppets, because they help to perpetuate stereotypes and keep mindsets in place. So that's where that comes from. Yeah, Sexy Red is one of the big offenders of this. Again, Ice Spice too won't appeal to her own community. Another person, Kehlani, like, Kehlani is not Black, but they got her saying the N-word and, dating Black guys. Again, Black men had to take responsibility for helping a lot of these girls. Same thing with Kim K. And again, I don't want to blame all Black men, because it's a lot of industry dudes, a lot of industry sellouts who want to, again, go to certain levels. And so they get with these, like, weird skin, with weird face, light skins, and help them to assimilate into Blackness via, oh, I got Black kids, or I date Black guys, so I can say the N-word, and, oh, I grew up in the hood around Black people, so I can say the N-word because I relate to their struggles and all of this bullshit. Like, and again, notice when people try to relate to Black people, when they say they grew up with them, they never talk about growing up with Black people who again, they never talk about the boule Black person. They never talk about, oh, I grew up with, people like I've lived in DC before. DC has a lot of very educated, well-to-do Black folks. You're never going to hear them talking about, oh yeah, I grew up, in DC, or I grew up in the good parts of Chicago where, yeah, like, I know Black doctors, Black lawyers, Black whatever, even nice parts of Atlanta. You're always going to hear them say, oh, I can relate to Black people's struggle because I grew up in the hood too, and we was all oppressed. They're always going to appeal to Black people being oppressed and Black people being disenfranchised, because that is what is thought to be Blackness, is being oppressed, disenfranchised, a victim of white supremacy, a victim of the white power structure, and like, all of this other shit. That's why we see that again on the movie ATL. And I was telling you guys that with Lotto, that is a ritual in itself, because in the movie ATL, Nunu, Lauren London's character, who in real life is a mixed woman, she was just passing as a light-skinned Black person in the film, but she was from Black wealth, but felt like the only way she could cozy up to other Black people was to niggify herself, was to wear big earrings and go skate and pop her gum and talk in African American vernacular, and go date a Black guy from the hood and go eat at Waffle House and go try to, act like she was hood and from the hood, and she was trying to, even though she was still Black, she felt the only way that she could appeal to other Black people was by pretending to be of a different socioeconomic status, because she felt like, I can't cozy up to my own people even though we're the same race, because I come from money, I come from wealth, and that's not Black, or that's not Blackness. So ATL was a really good movie to talk about that, talk about the psychological programming of race and wealth and status. And Lotto is again doing the same thing. She doesn't feel like, even though her father is Black, she doesn't feel like she can just cozy up to her people by being herself. She feels like she needs to speak a certain way, date certain guys, wear her hair a certain way, wear certain types of earrings, do her makeup, do her nails, dress. She feels like she needs to, again, put on the costume of blackness to be accepted as black and by black people. So again, all of our celebrities, all of these celebrities, again, who want to pass as black, they act a certain way. Kehlani is what? Full of tats, weed smoker. You know, I haven't really seen her twerk, but I know that she definitely says the N-word, and she, you know, definitely only dates black guys, it seems. And they have her, what, collaborating with black artists, and doesn't she have a baby daddy? Because having a baby daddy is thought to be one of the founding, or one of the fundamentals of being black. Having a BM, having a baby daddy. So just things that I've noticed, you know, it's definitely a psyop and a play going on out here. And it's sad, and it's tiring and sick. So yeah, a lot of these people are not black. The gag is Mariah Carey is like mixed with black. I think her father is black, or mainly black. And Mariah Carey, I don't see her, I've never heard her say the N-word, and I know Mariah claims to be black. She identifies as being black, but we don't see her, you know, she's one of the most like pretentious people ever. And I actually appreciate that about her, that she's not, again, roaming around pushing that bullshit. And that's why she's a legend. That's why she's, yes, baby daddy is like trash. Baby mama, baby daddy is just like ratchet ghetto trash. But Mariah, it's good that she, as somebody who's black identified, still carries herself the way that she does, and doesn't try to, you know, relate to black people through fuckery. Because she's one of the most respected singers on this planet, and a legend, and will die a legend. Now, again, her relation to Nick Cannon kind of tarnishes her legacy, but that's a lot of that shit is on him. You know, and they were married, so she's not his BM, that's his ex-wife. So, talk that I wanted to have. What is blackness? Who is black? These days, it's thought that, you know, people say that 2 black parents make you black. I'm gonna say yes. We know that there are people, again, who are mixed, who claim that they're black, people who are mixed who claim that they're not black. If you're mixed with black, I don't think you should be saying you're not black. You are black. You're just not fully black. You are mixed with black. You are biracial. That exists. It's just like if you were white and Asian. You're not, you can't say that, oh, I'm not Asian, or oh, I'm not white. Like, you're both, dumbass. And that's what's pissing people off with Tyla. It's okay to be both. People from different racial backgrounds hunch every day. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. Since there were different ethnicities, people have been banging people from other ethnic backgrounds. It's just human nature. Right. And that's called the tragic mulatto, which is talked about in English and like English literature. The tragic mulatto is a trope. It's a character trope of, you know, where do I stand on my black and my white? You know, it's like you're mixed. It's okay to be mixed. Like, you know, you don't have to say that, you don't have to claim to be fully black when you have a white parent. Like, you're not fully black. Mixed people have a different experience than black people will ever have. And this is talked about, again, in English literature. This is talked about by mixed people. They say, I'm never black enough to be black, I'm never white enough to be white, because you are a mix. You can't identify completely with both, but you can have, okay, I understand I'm around white people or around the other race that you're mixed with, and this is their culture, and then I'm around black people, this is their culture. Like, but part of why they're so confused is because a lot of times, unfortunately, mixed people have a black father that abandons them and doesn't help to initiate them or indoctrinate them into their black culture. And then it's unfortunate too, again, well, what is black culture? Is it twerking, saying nigga, and smoking weed and listening to rap? Because if that's all black culture is, then it's not much. And that's a damn shame, because black culture is way more than being oppressed and being enslaved and all of that other whole shit. Black culture is more than Henny and wings and Waffle House and twerking on couches. Like, for real. So we got to talk about that. Black culture is more than like single motherhood, single parenthood. So, you know, and then again, redefining what black culture is and what we want it to be is the responsibility of the average everyday black person, because celebrities and politicians do not represent black people as a whole. They are puppets who are here to do the work of the powers that be. The average everyday black person like myself and the people who are on this live, those of you who are black, it is up to us to decide what is black culture and what does it mean to, again, be black. What does black culture look like to us? And I would hope we would try to get it to align with something excellent. But again, black people, and not just black folks, when people have these mixed kids, the parents do need to do better at helping them with understanding who they are. And even with white women, because white women will go out and have mixed children, and now they don't know how to do their child's hair, and now they don't know anything about, again, they sleep with black guys, but they don't have any black female friends. So they can't help their black daughters understand that, you know, again, you're not a white woman, you are a mixed woman, you gotta like try to kind of learn who you're going to be and what that means for you. And again, a lot of times these mixed people again have this afro hair, and the white mothers can't right. Okay, I feel that. Yes, that's true, Combat Donkey. But I see this a lot of times again, these white moms, the black man abandons them, or he's halfway around, and then these mixed kids don't know what to do with their hair, and they don't really know, you know, they don't know if they should hang out with the white kids or the black kids at school. And with the way racial politics work, because we are still under the program of plantation politics, a lot of times mixed children just end up leaning more into their black side, because what was taught, this is why that one drop rule was created during slavery. One drop of black and you're black, when that's not true. One drop of black does not make you black. What's up, Anthony? You're gonna have to watch the replay, babe, because I'm about to sign off soon. But yes, good to see you tonight. I'm glad you're back. We talking about black and white chessboard. We talking about, again, mixed people and how they can end up confused, and how a lot of these people are not black. But the one drop rule was set in place so that, again, mixed people could just kind of automatically like get looped in with black people. And we're still seeing that now with, again, Kehlani, Ice Spice, Cardi B, Tyla, shit, even Drake, you know. And now Drake is a special case because he's Jewish, and he's proudly Jewish, and he's black, but he's more Jewish than he is black, because Jewish transcends race. That's a whole religion. So, and like a way of being. Jewish in itself is a culture. Kind of like being Catholic is like a culture. You know, it's more, it transcends race. But Jewish people do try to align themselves with the race. But Jewish is not a race. They want it to be a race, but it's not a race. Anybody could go convert to Judaism. But, you know, again, and this is why we have, again, a lot of this bullshit with like the not like us, because there's a lot of black men in the rap game who feel like Drake is a non-black or a mixed man taking their spot. And I guess they have some reason to be mad, but I do see, again, with Drake being here and then them ushering in, I mean, but they had Eminem before Drake, so I don't know why black men are like getting in their ass about it, to be honest with you. You know, when people are talented, actually talented, you'll find any reason to be upset. But when you have a lot of mixed people, again, in black spaces, and we see this with Drake too. He's always like changing his aesthetic and like changing like his vibe, and that leaves people kind of seeing him as like an imposter or seeing him as fake, because people are kind of like, well, who are you? You know, who are you gonna be? Like, you 1 minute you're wearing braids, then you like, you know, earrings, and like you then nail polish, then you're singing in a Caribbean voice, and then you're doing this and that. You know, you're singing, you're rapping. Like, it kind of leaves people a bit confused as to what is your identity. And again, same thing with Lotto. Like, what is your identity? And again, mixed people in general can tend to struggle with their identity, because especially when they're mixed with black, they kind of feel like, again, a lot of times black people are the most welcoming, because we kind of feel like, oh, you mix with black, you black. Because again, one drop rule has us under that mental programming that you mix with black, go over there, hang out with your black side. Because we know in slavery, if you was mixed with any kind of black, the closest you could get to whiteness is being a servant in their house. And if you was, again, darker than a paper bag, you was outside. Kind of like a caste system like you see in India. So those kind of racial politics leave people very confused mentally, and kind of like, you know, they don't know where they belong. Because even for the lighter skinned people who used to be able to be in the house with the white folks, they still, again, were servants to them. So they still didn't get the privileges that came along with whiteness. Because is it really a privilege to not have to be out in the heat when, you know, you are the maid, you are the help, and you are treated as such? It kind of doesn't feel like that proximity is really, you're not really benefiting that much from proximity. Like, okay, yeah, you get AC, maybe they even had AC back then, but you know, shit, you still oppressed, even though you are some type of, again, proximity, have some kind of proximity to whiteness. So, and that kind of leaves people confused about where they stand and who they are. So that one drop rule has definitely done its damage on the psyches of people, especially mixed people. They don't really know where they stand. And again, their black side, and black people are not always welcoming too. Sometimes black people can be, I mean, even myself without the glasses, I'm always mistaken for Ethiopian or East African, always. And when I straighten my hair, black people think I'm a dark-skinned Indian, or they think I'm like mixed with Asian because I have slanted eyes. Like, and some black people don't like that. They just feel like, oh, you mixed, you're not really black, and you know, what are you? So black people can be aggressive too. So when light-skinned people, when mixed people say that, you know, black people have been mean to them or have given them sour experiences, they're not always just making shit up and just playing victim as, oh, the lily light-skinned bitch. Like, no, because I've had the same experience as a dark-skinned black woman that looks exotic or that looks mixed. Black people can give me hard times. So black people are not always welcoming and nurturing and all of that. Like, so imagine, like, the white people don't really fuck with you because you white. The black people feel like you're not black enough. And like, when both of your communities are kind of like shoving you back and forth again, you're kind of like Malcolm in the middle. Like, well, I don't really know like where I fit in. And so you may, to try to fit in somewhere, because humans are meant for community, humans are meant for companionship, you might start to, again, put on that racial costume so you can fit in more with one side, whether you want to fit in more with your white side or fit in more with your black side. So just things I've seen. But yes, it's a lot of shit with people in the industry, and there's an agenda to have mixed people replace, in my belief, black people with, again, Saweetie, Lotto, Tyla, Ice Spice, Cardi B, and more. Sorry, I had a notification that my battery running low, but there's an agenda for like these new mixed people to like, we're gonna deem them black, and they're gonna replace a lot of black artists, you know, or like we're gonna just stuff them into the black category. Are they really replacing black artists a ton? I mean, we still have SZA, Moody Long, Summer Walker, so we still have dark skin, Doechii, JT, you know, shit, if we want to count Young Miami, but Megan Thee Stallion, undisputable dark skinned black woman. She was trying to claim that she's light skinned. Megan Thee Stallion is delusional. But we still have very successful mainstream um, black artists. So I don't want to say that there's like a deep agenda to replace us. But I want to say that there's a lot of people, again, who are just getting shoved in with us. When they can't pass for white, they make them rappers and they shove them into the black category with the black folks. So that's just my 2 cents on that. If you got here late, please watch the replay. Anthony, I will go ahead and put that link so you can watch me from the beginning. Thank you everybody that came out tonight, engaged, commented, you know, showed up. I always appreciate you guys being here. I'm probably going to start doing some reviews and breakdowns for American Horror Story over like the next 2 lives, like different seasons that like appeal to pop culture. Like I told you guys last night, like the Delicate season with Kim K, the double feature season that was talking about like Hollywood, and like the Black Pill, which was aka adrenochrome. Like I'll probably talk about that soon. So I just gotta plan that out. But of course, if you guys have any requests, please drop down on the community post. Thank you, Truth Hurts. Yes, I will go ahead and try to get that together. So if you guys have any suggestions, please comment somewhere on the community post so I can see your comment and I can make a video or do a live about your request. Thank you guys. Have a lovely night, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.